Pagan Online is off to a good start. It hit early access recently, it's got about 3,000 people playing the game on Steam, and the publisher made sure a bunch of creators and influencers made sponsored videos about the game. Pagan Online has a lot of potential. However, these two threats can single-handedly kill the game. Let me start with properly introducing Pagan Online. It's an action RPG developed by Madhead Games, who are mostly known for hidden objects puzzles adventures games, HOPAs. It's published by Wargaming, mostly known for the World of Tanks series. Pagan Online entered Steam Early Access a few days ago and I've been playing it for most of the Easter break. It comes at a pretty hefty price of €27, but the game also has a lot to offer. You start by choosing a hero and you jump into a story. There's currently 3 types of content available. There's the campaign, where you take it upon yourself to restore balance in this world, because the darkness has driven out the gods and is threatening life itself. Secondly, there are a variety of missions you can play, and the prime reason to play these missions is to gather crafting materials and keys. Lastly, there's assassinations, where those keys you just collected are used to enter an area where you have to kill a high value target who drops hero shards, which can be used to unlock new heroes to play with. The combat is deliberately slow. You move your character with the WASD keys while targeting with your mouse. Pagan puts emphasis on skill and not on gear. Abilities are tied to the character you play, but all of them are needed in order to survive and clear the content. Attacks must be dodged, potions used and skills enabled at the right time. I've already had some quite intense battles in Pagan Online as early as being level 7. There's a real sense of achievement after surviving a survival mission and claiming the loot. Apart from the hack and slash component, there's fun and intuitive crafting of your usual blue, purple and even legendary gear. It's also quite intricate with different recipes offering customization of craftable gear. You level up your crafting skill as well, increasing the chance for additional bonuses on your gear. There's 2 threats, however, that can put this party to a grinding halt. First, there's the monetization. Currently, it doesn't exist. You pay $27 and that's it. And the devs have said that it remains that way, but unfortunately we've heard this story all too often. We simply cannot assume publishers and developers are telling the truth, with both live services and single player games being flooded by microtransactions. There's Wargaming, for example, a publisher that's known for their malignant monetization schemes in World of Tanks. It's not a huge stretch to worry about these publishers wanting to monetize Pagan Online as well. And I'm not just saying that out of the blue. Pagan Online already contains some game mechanics that raise a few red flags and are easily monetizable. For example, there's a bunch of loot boxes in the game containing precious crafting materials. You can buy these with in-game gold and there's a limit of 6 per day. Each new chest exponentially costs more gold. So 1k, 2k, 4k, 8k, 16k and the 6th chest costs 32k gold. I got around 100k in like a day of playing. It's not hard to imagine there being a button with a little $sign on it to buy some additional gold, or to raise the daily loot box cap, or to maybe buy some materials so you're not dependent on RNG. Another red flag is the amount of locked content. This is not because of early access, it's available but already locked. On the one hand, you can argue that unlocking other heroes is part of the progression of the game, but at the very start of the game I'm already restricted to 3 characters, and if I choose one, the other 2 are locked. So I have to grind side missions to unlock more people to play with. It's not hard to imagine a little button there with a $sign on it to unlock those other characters instantly. It would save you hours of grinding, really. Last flag I'm going to mention is that equipping new items don't change the look of your character, apart from weapons. You can unlock new outfits, but I've been playing this all Easter and I've yet to find a new outfit. It wouldn't be hard though to imagine a little button with a $sign on it. Well, fine, you get the picture. This brings me to the second threat of Pagan Online's future, the lack of depth. While I'm having fun and while this game does offer quite a bit of variety on paper, in reality you're basically doing the same thing over and over again. Killing monsters in very short instant areas. And that's fine. It's the gameplay loop, and for action RPGs that gameplay loop consists of killing endless amounts of monsters, picking up the loot, improving your character and rinse and repeat. And I love that. I love that about action RPGs, which I've been playing for over 20 years now. I love the combination of complexity and mindlessness. Killing monsters is absolutely mind-numbing, but in a good action RPG it is complemented by deep skill trees, by various abilities, by being able to create wacky builds. Pagan Online doesn't have this. It makes up for it in the complexity department a little bit by making the battle require skill instead of good fast clearing builds like in Path of Exile, but it lacks everything else games like Path of Exile and Diablo 3 have to offer. It's not a fair comparison really, because this game stands up a lot better when you compare it to Victor Vran or Gauntlet, but the point is still the same, because it lacks complexity. Your abilities are locked and tied to a character. There are skill trees, but they are mostly passive and don't feel impactful at all. You get 10% extra damage or 3 meters extra range. This won't keep people interested for a very long time, so the game has to rely on other ways to keep it fresh and interesting. It's important that the devs find these new ways. There's hardly any customization either. Character outfits don't change when you equip new gear like I said, so the only way to do that is by unlocking new outfits. Your character isn't looking cooler after getting a significant upgrade. I don't care too much for looks, but in an action RPG it's quite a big part of the game, because character building is an essential component. I really hope wargaming doesn't monetize this game to death and that the developers find ways to keep this interesting in the long run. The lack of depth can be countered, for example, by just adding more content to the game, and I can also imagine they keep adding heroes, just like they do in, let's say, League of Legends. Because abilities are set, balancing heroes isn't too hard either, at least at the start. We can always use a new, refreshing action RPG, and Pagan Online certainly has potential. If it manages to overcome these two threats, I'm sure there's a bright future ahead of it, and it will survive the early access period gracefully. I really hope you enjoyed this video about Pagan Online. If you did, throw me a sub or a like. Let me hear your thoughts on this in the comment section down below as well, and I will see you all soon. Bye bye.
Blessed be the gods, the light is with us once more.